It's the 25th of May, Memorial Day. And this is your Monday microdose. So, I think I haven't kept it a huge secret that I generally tape these on Sunday. And in Indianapolis, the day before Memorial Day, the Sunday before Memorial Day is generally the Indianapolis 500. So we would all be in full party mode, I think, by now. Most certainly. The race would probably be just getting ready to start. Not happening this year, for obvious reasons. And it occurs to me that I may have gone to Arlington as a very young child. I'm not sure. I know I certainly visited the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. But what I have seen as an adult is the American Military Cemetery in Manila, actually just right outside of Manila. And it's sobering. So let's not forget the reason for the holiday while we're quaffing beers. I got an email the other day from the great-grandson of the man that started the Walled Bicycle Company, which was a little shocking. He apparently saw my video on the 137 basket, or as they call it, the 37, which is the 137 without hardware. Yeah. Pretty surprising, but cool nonetheless. And it just goes to show you that when I say, subscribes, likes, comments, all that stuff really makes a difference. It really does. Your subscription basically makes it more likely that the channel is going to be seen. When you like a video, it really makes it more likely that the video will be seen. Costs nothing, happily, but it really means a lot, and I appreciate each and every one. And while I'm on the subject of the fact that I'm not very good at self-promotion, it was brought to my attention a couple of weeks ago that once upon a time I wrote a book. And I tend to forget about it, quite honestly. I think because even though it took the better part of a year to write and edit, it sucked about 5 years off of my life. Not unlike the machine in The Princess Bride, where Christopher Guest has got all the suction cups. Yeah. It was kind of like that. But here it is. The Idiot's Guide to Bike Repair and Maintenance. The book was meant to be kind of a way for, your average person to do basic bike adjustments without a lot of special tools. To that end, I think, I was successful. Although I went and checked to see if it was still available on Amazon, and it is. And I'll put a link down below if you're interested. And I made the mistake of reading one of the reviews, and the very first review was from a person who thought that it was not basic at all. If you know what end of the wrench to hold, it should be pretty easy to understand. If you already know how to run a cable, if you already know what an adjuster barrel does, if you know what the limit screws on your derailleurs do, and what to do, and more importantly, what not to do with them. If you can look at a pedal and by looking at the threads know whether it's left or right, it's probably too basic for you. But if you don't know about those things and you would like to know about those things, yeah, I'll put a link down in the description and you can check it out. I think it's still like $20. And I know I had the same question when they asked me to write it. Why would you write a book when all this information is available online for nothing? Some people still like to have books. So there you have it. And what I have for you today is the Tale of Two Handlebars. Let's see if I can remember how I did this. And these are they. That was not very... Boom. So what we... Good Lord. It's not something I rehearsed, as you can obviously see. So this is the North Road bar from Nito, or if you're buying it in the aluminum version, Rivendell calls it the Albatross bar. So first things first, what's the difference between the Albatross and the North Road? Not a lot. I've had both on bikes, and from a feel standpoint, I can't tell them apart. The North Road's made out of chromoly. Albatross is heat-treated aluminum. So the North Road's going to be a little heavier, if you care about that. It is a smidge wider, and by that I mean like maybe a half a centimeter. There are many fine people on the YouTubes that will break all this down with numbers, graphs and pie charts. I'm not that guy. I'm going to basically just tell you from a feel standpoint, what I feel when I'm riding a bike with these bars. It's not my job to tell you what to do. I think it's really just my job to tell you how I do it, so then that might inform the way you do it. So I've had at least 3 bikes with this handlebar. I rode a long haul trucker with this bar for the longest time. My A. Homer Hilson has this exact bar on it, and my Chevy, it has an Albatross. I think it's a wonderful handlebar for kind of more upright, mostly pavement type of riding. I haven't found one yet that I like any better. Now, the big question is, and it's a question that I had, is a lot of times you're going from drop bars to a bar like this, and how do you handle that? Some people are not going to handle it at all. They're just going to pull the drop bar off, and they're going to put the North Road on with the exact same stem. And that works for a lot of people. For me, I generally go 2 centimeters longer on the stem. So, for example, again, my torso is freakishly long. On my long haul trucker with a drop bar, I had a 110 stem. When I went to the North Road, it became a 130. And the way that I figured that was I would measure from the back of the saddle to kind of the center of the brake hood, the top of the brake hood where your hand sits, and then just kind of mimic that to here. So this became my hood's position. This became more of an upright position. Or if I was out of the saddle, I was climbing, something like that, you can get a little more leverage on the back of the bar, and then just going down the road, I'm kind of out here. Savvy? Wonderful handlebar. Now, you think about something like a Moloko bar from Surly or a Jones bar. You know, you can easily use this for either one of those. One might look at this bar and go, well, it's just another swept back bar, so you treat it the same way. And that's what I thought initially, but no. I don't think I've ever had a bike where I had to shorten the stem. It's always been the other way around. And yet when I got my bridge club, the medium bridge club comes with a 90 millimeter stem. Put the Moloko bar on it, rode it around, and it was like, man, it's okay. But I had a really nice stem that I wanted to use, but it was a 100, 10 centimeters. And so I swapped it out for the 100 because in my thinking, you've always had to use a longer stem. Why would this be any different? And it was like, no, sir, not going to work. Went back to the 90, rode it around, but now I was thinking, could this actually be shorter? Went to an 80, and that was really good. So why is that? Well, if you look at these two bars, and I'm going to try to do this without just completely making a hash of it, and look at where the grip sits. So this is where you clamp. Look at where your hands are on the North Road versus where your hands are on the Moloko. I mean, quite a bit forward. And not only forward, I'm just going to put this down, but wider, right? So if my arms are this long when my hands are like this, then how long are my arms when my hands are like this? So as the grip goes out, it actually effectively shortens the length of your arm. Look, I was a speech major, and I'm no math whiz. But again, from a feel standpoint, this is the way it's worked out for me. I think I've only had one customer that I've recommended shortening the stem, and when I looked at it, it was like, probably could have just stuck with it the way it was. Everybody's different. So yeah, two great handlebars. There's a lot of choices out there, but it seems like these are the two that I gravitate to. For all you Rivendell aficionados out there, Clem Smith Juniors are forthcoming. They're only doing the L, which I think everybody knows by now. And they're doing them in two colors, that kind of bronzy green, which I love, and then the Riv blue. I have pre-ordered some. I was limited to 3. I could only order 3. And so I got 2 green and 1 blue. The blue's already been spoken for. So if you're looking for a green 52 Clemel and you can't find one anywhere else, reach out. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And the comments and likes really mean a lot. I do read them all. I try to respond to the ones where it's appropriate. They've all been, for the most part, relative, very positive and kind. Thank you for that. And yeah, it's good to get the grumpy pants off after last week. Until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I will talk to you soon.